Welcome to Fun Amazed, where we celebrate the absolute best of human, not-so-genius moments. You know, the kind of moments that leave us wondering, how did that even happen? Well, buckle up, folks. Today, we're diving into the top 5 Darwin Award winners Volume 5. These are the special individuals who, despite all odds, found a way to prove that natural selection is alive and well. And let me tell you, some of them took creative risks, like following a phone straight off a cliff, or smuggling a pistol in a place you won't believe. Trust me, you'll want to stay for that one. So grab your popcorn, sit back, and get ready for a roller coaster ride through some of the most bizarre, tragic, and just plain hilarious ways people have earned their spot in Darwin's Hall of Fame. You won't believe the absurdity, but you'll be laughing and shaking your head the whole way through. Ready? Let's jump in. Number 1. Pokémon Go, going, gone. Pokémon Go, the game that got people off their couches, and in some cases off cliffs. You remember it, right? The app that made millions of people wander the streets with their faces glued to their phones, trying to catch Pokémon in the real world. But here's the thing. Sometimes that obsession leads to, let's just say, unfortunate results. Back in 2016, 2 California men were so obsessed with catching them all that they followed their phones straight off a 75-foot drop. That's right, they didn't just find a rare Pokémon. They found themselves face first in a pretty serious situation. Can you imagine being so caught up in the game that you don't even notice you're heading toward a cliff? It's like your brain gets totally hijacked by the digital world. But that's exactly what happened here. These 2 guys were so engrossed in trying to catch this elusive Pokémon, they didn't see the steep drop coming. They were fully in the zone, dodging imaginary creatures, probably arguing about who gets to catch it first, and completely oblivious to the real-life hazard right in front of them. And boom, one wrong step, and they're tumbling down a 75-foot drop. Not quite the wildest catch of the day, huh? Luckily, they survived. Barely. But let's be real. The only thing they caught that day was a hard dose of reality. They probably weren't expecting to evolve into accident survivors, but hey, life's full of surprises, right? So, what's the lesson here? Maybe, just maybe, take a break from your phone once in a while. Sure, catching a Pokémon might be fun, but it's probably not worth risking a serious injury for, right? Don't get so lost in the digital world that you miss out on what's happening in the real one. Life's full of distractions, but it's also full of cliffs if you're not paying attention. Remember, keep your eyes on the road, not just the screen. Number 2. Bodacious Bud. Okay, buckle up because I've got a story that's going to have you shaking your head in disbelief. Imagine this. You've been growing a prize-winning marijuana plant in your backyard, thinking you're living the dream. Everything's going great until, bam, you get a call from the police. Now, that's probably not the kind of call you want, right? But what if they say, hey, we know what you're up to, but if you bring it in, we'll let it slide. Sounds like a dream come true, right? Well, hold on, this guy thought it was too. And that's where things took a very, very wild turn. Instead of getting freaked out, our buddy thought, this is it, I'm in the clear. He had this golden opportunity to walk away scot-free with no consequences. So, what did he do? He grabbed that prized plant and marched straight to the police station, convinced he was about to make the best deal ever. But plot twist, turns out it was all just a prank. That phone call? Just some prankster having a good laugh at his expense. They were probably sitting back, watching him make the ultimate mistake, and honestly, I don't know if they were laughing more at his gullibility or the fact that he didn't even doubt it for a second. And the real cops? Well, let's just say they weren't too happy to see him, because he walked right into their hands, plant in tow. The poor guy ended up getting arrested on felony drug charges. Talk about a prank gone way too far. Hear this. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I mean, who honestly thinks the police are going to let you off the hook just like that? Always double check, folks. Especially when the stakes are as high as getting arrested. Ever been tricked by something that seemed too good to be true? Maybe you've fallen for a scam or got caught up in a wild situation just like this one. Number 3. Archery Practice. All right, picture this. You're out with friends, enjoying a nice day of archery, and you lose an arrow. It happens, right? But instead of just searching for it, you decide to get creative and ask your friend to shoot another one. Now, here's where things take a wild turn. You decide to stand directly in the line of fire. And trust me, folks, things did not go as planned. This Canadian man thought he had the perfect solution to finding his lost arrow. Just shoot another one, no big deal, right? He probably thought, hey, what could possibly go wrong? Well, spoiler alert, he found that arrow all right. Right, between the eyeballs. Yep, you heard that right. The arrow shot straight into his face, and let me tell you, it wasn't exactly the kind of discovery you want to make. He survived the ordeal, but he wasn't exactly walking away unscathed. He was left with severe brain damage. That's one way to take an unintended shot to the head. I don't know if he'd call it a bullseye, but I think we can all agree it wasn't the kind of target practice he was hoping for. Listen up, folks. Maybe don't turn your head into a bullseye. Seriously, folks, stand clear of the line of fire. It's a risky move, and it's definitely not one you want to repeat. But hey, at least now he'll never lose an arrow again. Or, remember where he put anything else? A little brain damage tends to have that effect, right? Ever had an accident doing something totally ridiculous, or maybe got caught up in a situation where you thought, there's no way this can go wrong? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your wildest, most out there moments where things didn't exactly go according to plan. Number 4. Concealed weapon. We've all heard of packing heat, but this woman took it to the next level, literally. Trying to sneak a gun into a high-security prison, she, well, inserted it in a place guns do not belong. Now, I'm not sure what's worse, the fact that she thought this was a good idea, or the fact that it actually stayed there for 3 whole days. That's right, 3 days of walking around like a human gun safe, until the pain became too much to handle, doctors said. Well, that's a new one. After 3 days of agony, she finally admitted the truth. And you can only imagine the conversation that followed. Nurse said, "Ma'am, why?" Doctors had to surgically remove the weapon. And let's not forget, this isn't just a medical emergency, it's a crime. Yes, she was arrested, because if you try to smuggle a firearm up your, well, you deserve to get caught. Just why? What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard someone try to smuggle? Number 5, I just flicked my bic. Lighting up a cigarette while leaking propane in your car? Bad idea. But that didn't stop this guy. He figured, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the second he flicked his lighter, boom. The explosion was so intense he didn't quite make it to space, but he did get airlifted, straight to the hospital. Turns out he had a lot of explaining to do. Doctors say he's lucky to be alive, but we say he's lucky to have eyebrows left. Seriously, imagine the singe marks. So, moral of the story? Maybe try nicotine patches next time? Or, just don't trap yourself in a homemade bomb. That works too. Honestly, some lessons are better learned the hard way, though we don't recommend it. What's the wildest thing you've done that could have turned into a disaster? Let's hear it. What's the dumbest way you've ever seen someone get hurt? Drop it in the comments. And there you have it, 5 Darwin Award legends who remind us all that common sense really isn't so common. Honestly, after hearing those stories, it's a miracle any of us are still around. But hey, that's the beauty of life. Anything can happen, especially when people take things a little too far. If you had as much fun watching as I did telling you these epic tales, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another laugh out loud moment. We've got plenty more where that came from. And hey, if you're hungry for more legendary fails, check out this next video. Trust me, you won't believe what's coming next. You'll want to see it to believe it. I'll be waiting for you over there. See you soon.